Myanmar president was in China for a state visit from 15th of June to 19th of June. Myanmar is a very important country to China. And on the other hand, China can offer what Myanmar needs in terms of economic development, foreign investments, infrastructure investments, so on and so forth. For this video, I'll look at, from the China perspective, what Myanmar can offer. Hi, Leslie Koo here. Now, let's look at this map. China, the east, the coastal region, the west of China are inland. Facing the east, it has, given the current geopolitical situations, the tensions, it has to face Japan and Philippines. Japan, I always call it the U.S. Commander-in-Chief bracket Asia. So these two countries helping U.S. to contain China. That's why they have been having a lot of military drill, actions, verbal provocations, so on and so forth. Right? And in the West, there is India. So India is always playing the balancing between China and the US. So with China, you will say, oh, don't worry, we should live happily as neighbors. With the US, they always say, oh, don't worry, I will help you to be one of the puzzles of your containing China strategy map. I'll be one of the puzzles in there. And, well, on and off, I'll kick up some mess. So, India, I mean, roughly speaking, is not really a very reliable partner or neighbors, from China perspective. So, and India always has, how should I say, the power or to see itself as the big boss in Indian Oceans, in the Bay of Bengal. Now, Myanmar is the only country, not the only country, but is a major country that can offer China access to the sea in the west or southwest. Okay. And how this can be done, for China to have access to the sea in the southwest region, is through the China-Myanmar Economic Corridor. So, and this corridor is made up of railway, oil and gas pipeline, and ports. So, you see, the network is from Chinese city Kunming it's linked to the Myanmar Museum city, and then to Mandalay. And then from Mandalay, you can have to Yangon and to the deep sea port, Chao-Pyu. So this is the general idea of the economic corridor. So what that means is that cargo or Chinese products from China will go through, it's not the way, but it's an option for Chinese goods from Kunming, Myanmar, and then up to Bay of Bengal and to the rest of the world. So, from the rest of the world, goods from the rest of the world to China, largely raw materials, oil and gas, will be through the railway, and the pipelines go through Myanmar and reach Kunming. So, and these options allows Chinese goods not to go through the Strait of Malacca, which has rising risk of being blockage by countries which see China as a rising threat. So, and this is a very, very important options for Chinese goods to China and from China. And this economic corridor is not fully functional yet because the Myanmar side is been delayed by the tribal warlords and local militants. So these people are not happy. No, they have their own agenda, their own interests, and that give delays to the development of this economic corridor. But during the visit, Myanmar and China have agreed to kickstart the project to make sure that it will proceed. From what I see is that I believe Myanmar has already talked to the Myanmar government has already talked to the tribal warlords and the local militants about the benefits. The government gain, the people will gain, and you all will gain. Not because of this, the development of this economic corridor, everybody gains. It's a win-win. So I believe they have talked to them. That's why Myanmar and China can announce that they have agreed to proceed. So, and I would think that, I believe by 2030, we will see highly likely that we will see a fully functional China-Myanmar economic corridor. And a fully functional corridor is vital to China, especially the current rising risk of geopolitical tensions between China and the US. Now, let's talk about the deep sea port, the Chao Pyu. I hope I pronounce it correctly. So this deep sea port, being a deep sea port, large cargo ships can park there, can use the port, can dock and unload, upload, so on and so forth. And that would also mean that aircraft carrier, battleships can also use the port, the deep sea port. And given how should I say, the lack of coastal line or the access to the sea of China in the southwest regions, this deep sea port, I believe, will be used by China Navy for their battleships, for the aircraft carrier, so on and so forth. And this is vital for China to have the access in this area. I mean, the access of its Navy in this area to protect, especially given the current situation, to protect the ships that have contain goods to China and from China, so that no other countries will come and block it, come and I need a search, so on and so forth, and delay the shipment. So this is this deep sea port, I believe, will be used by China military. And now, of course, the US will not be happy. India especially will not be happy, because with China PLA present in the Bay of Bengal, it means that the US Navy, the battleships, aircraft carrier, submarines will not have an easy way to come and go as they like before. And to India, it sees that as a challenge to its status as the big boss of Indian Oceans. Because from Bay of Bengal, you sail south, it will go to the Indian Ocean. So if Indian Oceans were to be filled with Chinese battleships, of course, India is not to be happy about it. But unfortunately for India, things will move in that directions. So, in a nutshell, by 2030, we'll see a fully functional economic corridors, and the deep sea port period will be used, and highly likely will be used by China for its battleships to protect the Chinese cargoes in that area, and also allowed it not to options for China not to go through the Strait of Malacca, and to have such access to this region, the Bay of Bengal, and then to Indian regions is critical, is important to China. Okay, that's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Cheers.